everybody, and welcome to episode 2, Income and Value Creation. Income is created, it is not given. And if there's one thing that you can take away from this episode, it's to remember your earning power grows when your value grows. So Lenny, in episode 1, we talked about direction, right? And today we're talking about earning power. And we're organizing this into 3 big parts. First, what actually determines your income. Second, how you increase your value in the market. And third, the different paths you can take to grow your earning power over time. 3 parts.
Income, value, growth. And this time, instead of Alex, let's focus on Sabrina.
Take Sabrina. A few years ago, she was a registered nurse on a general medical surgical floor. Her reality was defined by heavy patient loads and grueling 12-hour shifts. She delivered consistent, solid performance in a high-pressure environment. Yet, despite her constant exertion, her income didn't change. She was working at her physical limit, but her earning power remained at a standstill. This highlights a cold reality of the labor market. Compensation is not a reward for how tired you are. If the market isn't paying for your sweat, we have to look at the specific variables it actually values. This is flow replacement equation. Earning power is determined by 3 inputs: usefulness, responsibility, and scarcity of your skill set. When a skill is easy to train, scarcity drops. Pay levels stay low regardless of how difficult the job is to perform. We can see this equation in action through Sabrina's move to the intensive care unit. In the ICU, the variables of the equation shift significantly. She acquired specialized skills that are difficult to find, like managing ventilators and making survival decisions in seconds. These skills are rare, increasing her scarcity. From a business perspective, the hospital generates higher revenue from these specialized beds, and Sabrina's expertise directly reduces the risk of costly emergencies. Sabrina's raise wasn't a reward for working more hours. She changed her inputs in the replacement equation, making herself harder to replace.
So when Sabrina upgraded her skills, she increased her economic value. This is very important.
Very important. Employers don't pay for effort alone. They pay for usefulness. They pay for responsibility. They pay for skills that are scarce and difficult to train.
So if a skill is common and easily replaced, income stays lower. If it's specialized, licensed, and critical, income rises. Sabrina didn't get lucky. She moved from general competence to specialized value.
That's not emotional, it's structural. Income is a signal. It reflects scarcity, responsibility, revenue impact, and Sabrina became difficult to replace.
So when Sabrina invested in becoming more specialized, the market responded. So there's 2 kinds of capital, Lenny. There's financial capital, so more money invested in assets, and there's human capital, your skills, knowledge, experience, reputation, work ethic, things like that.
Early in life, financial capital is usually small. You're working and earning so that you can save, invest, and grow your financial capital. This can take time, and it doesn't happen overnight. It requires intentionally directing money, as we mentioned in the previous episode. But human capital can grow quickly. In 1748, Benjamin Franklin said, "Time is money." He meant that how you use your time determines how you earn.
What a great quote. Sabrina didn't just work longer hours, she sharpened her skills. She added certifications, she improved how she led meetings, she learned to communicate more clearly. She became harder to replace, and that's human capital increasing.
This is also where skill stacking matters.
Instead of getting slightly better at one thing, you layer complementary skills together. Sabrina stacked critical care certifications with leadership training. This combination created a total value significantly higher than keeping those skills separate. While many people have clinical knowledge, far fewer have the combination of clinical expertise and high-stakes leadership. This makes her rare in the labor market. Because she became harder to replace, the market was structurally forced to respond with a higher salary.
So human capital grows, and not only grows, it compounds. Not instantly, but steadily.
Now let's talk about structure. There are generally 2 primary paths to increasing income. Employment, which is building value inside an organization, or entrepreneurship, creating value directly in the market. Both can build value. Both can build wealth, but they grow differently.
So to summarize, we basically have two paths: that you can work for somebody or you can work for yourself. Those are good things to think about.
Inside employment, meaning you're working for somebody, income grows when you upgrade your skills, take on higher stakes responsibility, solve bigger problems, reduce risk for your employer, generate more revenue or efficiency. Organizations pay more for people who move the needle.
So let's talk about entrepreneurship, or basically working for yourself. This changes the structure of how you get paid. Instead of being paid for your time, you are paid for the value that you create directly. If Sabrina started a home health agency, or she launched a specialty IV therapy service or something like this, she would no longer be paid a salary. She would be paid based on revenue generated, systems built, clients served, and teams managed. In entrepreneurship, income is not capped by a pay scale, it's tied to scale.
That's the difference. Employment income usually grows step by step. Entrepreneurial income can grow exponentially, but with more risk. You carry the cost, you carry the liability, you build the systems, you attract the customers. The upside is higher, but so is the responsibility.
So remember our friend Mr. Thompson. He tried both over his lifetime. Some stable employment working for someone, some entrepreneurial risks. What mattered wasn't the label, it was whether he kept increasing his value. Earning power is not fixed, it grows when your value grows. If your skills stay the same for 10 years, income often does too. But if your skills compound, if they multiply, income can also compound. So let's go back to Sabrina for a moment. Her promotion wasn't the finish line, it was proof that value compounds.
So instead of asking, what can I upgrade so that I can make more, she asked, what skills should I build next so that I become more valuable? That question keeps her trajectory rising.
So to recap this whole episode, let's look at the three parts. Income reflects value in the market. Value grows when you invest in your human capital. And earning power increases over time when you keep building that value.
Income isn't random.
Right.
It reflects what you bring to the table.
And what you bring to the table can grow, right? So your earning power grows when your value grows. So looking at these two paths, Lenny, we have basically entrepreneurship. That means I'm starting my own business, or we have employment. You're working for someone else. So in your many years of employment or working for yourself, what has been the better option for you?
Well, I will say that I started off working for someone else, and I did that for over 20 years. I will tell you that that allowed me to really add value and increase my skill set.
Sure.
And that type of investment would have been difficult for me starting off as an entrepreneur. And so I do value those years that I put in working for someone and learning and honing my skill, which allowed me to go into entrepreneurship.
Yeah.
And so now I've spent the last 15 years as an entrepreneur.
Yeah.
But that's all supported by 20 plus years of we're working for someone else.
For sure.
And so this is an exciting time, but for me, it was necessary.
Yeah. I think for myself, working for someone, even like if you think about back to, I got my first job in high school and then in college and then starting out after college, there's almost a nice safety net of just, hey, I get a paycheck every 2 weeks and this company is paying for my insurance. And it's like all of those things that you're like, hey, I know I'm gonna make X amount of dollars this year. And yeah, it's not super exciting, but there's a safety net to that. So that's great for a season. And not everybody's an entrepreneur. I enjoy being an entrepreneur and starting my own business, but there's also a risk to that. And hey, this all relies on me or my team.
Right.
And if I don't put the work in, nobody's gonna come do it for me, and I'm not gonna make any money. There's a risk to that, but there's also a thrill to that, where it's like, man, as we looked at Sabrina, if she was going to do an entrepreneurship and start her own specialization company, she has unlimited income potential. And there's that in a business as well, of you have the opportunity to have unlimited income potential based on what you put into it. So I think both of those things for different seasons are great. Or maybe even up to like your personality type could depend on those things. But for me, that's kind of where I've landed.
Excellent. I'm glad we landed in the same space.
I'm glad too.